Seattle Seahawks Today is made possible by our friends over at Magic Spoon. It tastes like the cereal that you grew up with, but it's actually healthy for you and not chock full of sugar. Get $5 off your first order, whether that's a box or maybe 4 boxes, at magicspoon.com/Seahawks. Go get yourself a box today. Let's get things going with David DeCastro conversation, the surprise release by the Pittsburgh Steelers where there might be some ankle stuff. We'll get into that later on here, but the Steelers cut David DeCastro on Thursday. Bleacher Report put out a list of 4 destinations, the top 4 teams that could go sign David DeCastro, and the Seahawks, perhaps surprisingly, were on that list. Now, if we had had this conversation at the beginning of the offseason, I'd have been all for it. Now, I'm not so sure. Here are the 4 teams on this list. The Bengals, duh, the number 1 team that needs him. The Raiders, Patriots, and yes, the Seahawks, not quite as urgent, if we're being honest here, in terms of the need on the offensive line at guard. Now, at his best, in his prime, at his peak, David DeCastro is an all-pro guard. That's how good he's been in his NFL career. But last year, as he battles admittedly some ankle issues that might be a problem for him long-term, that has led to some retirement whispers or at least conversations for DeCastro, he wasn't as good. In fact, there has been some regression by the Steelers' offensive guard as he ages. 2017, him and Zach Martin right up there neck and neck, the best guards in the NFL, right? But the regression in age has started to set in. You see it on the PFF overall grades. 74.8, 71.1, and then 64.1. And Seattle is already committed to 2 guards on this team. Damian Lewis, who was the right guard last year, he's going to kick over to the left side. He's got that spot locked down and manned. Gabe Jackson, who I think at this point in his career is fairly similar to David DeCastro, is the right guard. So unless you want to get creative and play Damian Lewis at center and kick one of the 2 right guards, Jackson or DeCastro, he's also a right guard, folks, over to left guard, I don't see the hole that's available for Seattle on the offensive line. Now, Jackson's PFF grades recently haven't hit the same peak as David DeCastro, but 2018, 2020, they're not that different. And I think the Seahawks offense will also fit Jackson pretty darn well. And they've committed to Jackson already. If Seattle didn't have Gabe Jackson on this team and they were going to start like, I don't know, Jordan Simmons at left guard or something, I'd be all for going out and getting DeCastro. Because Jackson is there, it's tough to really find the hole. Now, you could get creative and say, all right, Damian Lewis, you're going to be our center. You're going to compete with Ethan Posick. You're probably going to win that job as well. And Posick now goes back to being our super sub on the offensive line. Lewis did get some run at center last year, 1 game, and was pretty decent. But he's a guard long-term for me. So I don't want to move his position and then end up jeopardizing his growth long-term. So I am intrigued by the idea of adding David DeCastro on the surface level. Once I dug deeper, I don't think the fit's really there. So get your votes in. What do you guys think? Should Seattle go out and sign David DeCastro? Type in Y for yes, you want him on this team, or type in N for no. Now, much has been made about the extension that's due for Jamal Adams. He's not the only safety, it seems, however, who's looking to get a big new contract. The Athletic reports that Diggs also wants a new deal, joining Adams, Duane Brown, and probably some others on the team who are in the last year of their deal and looking to get paid. Now, historically speaking, the Seahawks typically like to do these long-term deals for veterans within the first few days of training camp. Otherwise, it normally doesn't get done. There are some exceptions, but in general, that's their typical MO. They get the deals done early in camp. And Diggs is an awesome free safety. Top 10 in his position, I believe, in the NFL. He was great last year. 10 pass breakups, 5 interceptions. Still on the right side, by the way, of 30. And I think that does matter for Seattle. We'll get to the money side of it, but first, if you guys want to save some money on delicious cereal that's also good for you, check out Magic Spoon. $5 off your first order. MagicSpoon.com/Seahawks. Seahawks. Tastes like the sugary cereal that you grew up with, but there is no sugar. In fact, it's actually very good for you. 13 grams of protein, more if you get the peanut butter flavored one, by the way. 4 grams of net carbs, that's it. And again, 0 grams of sugar. It's fantastic. So check the comment section and the description. I'll put a clickable link in there for you guys, magicspoon.com/Seahawks. Tons of different flavors, by the way. They've got cocoa, cinnamon, blueberry, the fruity, the frosted, peanut butter, all types of variety there. So get yourself a box or, heck, maybe even 4 of them. magicspoon.com/Seahawks. Check them out today. All right, back now to Quandre Diggs. He is clearly the number 2 safety on this team, and clearly the number 1 free safety, of course, because Adams is a box guy, right? Ryan Neal's a good backup, I think. I don't want to start Ryan Neal. And I could move Marquise Blair or Ugo Amadi, who've had some safety run in college and in the NFL a little bit, but I don't trust them fully as starters. So long term, I would like to keep Diggs on this team. But money matters for a team a little bit tight on salary cap space. Now, I don't think you would have to pay Quandre Diggs top 5 safety money. I think you could get him for under $14 million a year, knowing, of course, Jamal Adams is probably going to get more like $16 million. I don't want to pay both safeties $30 million per year. That's a lot of money combined. The proper comparison, I think, even as the salary market resets and the cap goes up, is somewhere on this page. There's a big gap there between Landon Collins, tied for 5th, Devin McCourty, John Johnson, and 2 franchise tag players, Marcus May and Marcus Williams. I think somewhere in the John Johnson, Devin McCourty price tag range is probably about right for Quandre Diggs and Seattle. Maybe it's a little bit over 11.5, maybe it's 12 flat, whatever it ends up being there in the end. I think that's about the right price tag for Seattle to go out and extend the contract of Quandre Diggs. Again, I like him a lot. He's a good football player. He's young, he's been impactful, and Seattle got him for a steal in that show with the Detroit Lions. So I want to keep Diggs, but I don't think he gets his deal done first. I think Jamal Adams makes a lot more sense in that area. So get your votes in for me. Who do you guys want to pay first? Type JA for Jamal Adams, or you can type in QD for Quandre Diggs. Which player would you rather get first? Now, if you guys want more Seahawks videos pretty much every single day, hit that big red button and subscribe. The link is right there at the bottom of your screen. If you need it, it's youtube.com/Seahawks. But you're watching on our YouTube channel, just hit the big red button. Go do it right now. Let's talk Poona Ford now. Will this be a breakout season for the defensive tackle? I hope so. Look, Ford got paid this offseason, and he's now entering year 4 on Seattle's roster. And with Jarran Reed gone, I wonder if Poona Ford will, A, be asked, and, of course, B, be more productive as a pass rusher. In his 2 main years as a key cog on this defensive line, I like a lot of what Poona Ford has done, mostly as a run stopper, right? He's had 5 tackles for loss, 8 tackles for loss the past 2 years. The pressure rate did jump significantly from 2019 to 2020. The sacks, also very substantial jump, but 0.5 to 2. High percentage jump, not a lot of actual jump there. So I'm going to put the over-under for Poona Ford sacks-wise at this, 3. If he gets to 3, he will exceed his career total. So what do you guys think? Over or under 3 sacks for Poona Ford this year? Type in O for over or U for under. Now, there are other players who I think will play a key role in terms of the pass rush interior-wise. LJ Collier, Rasheem Green, defensive end, defensive tackle hybrids. They brought over Kerry Hyder. He could kick inside some on passing downs. But there's a lot of snaps to replace in terms of the pass rush. Jarran Reed led the team in pass rush snaps last year, 590. Now, you don't see Carlos Dunlap on here. He was 6th, remember, acquired later on in the season. Benson Mayowa, he'll play a key role still. Kerry Hyder will probably take quite a few of either LJ Collier or Rasheem Green, but that's a lot of interior defensive line snaps to replace from a pass rush perspective. I think Collier gets some. Green gets some. I think Poona Ford gets some more as well. I think Seattle wants him to be more productive in the pass rush. So we will see just what his role looks like in 2021.